Tits, 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 tits. Tits of the house, tits of the house.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Tits of the House.
I feel like you left me hanging there. I was waiting for you to sing. This was supposed to be a duet, and it ended up being a terrible solo performance.
You want to know what happened?
What happened?
I took a sip of my coffee, and of course, I spilled it down my chin onto my shirt, and I couldn't sing.
That happens to me all the time, and like sometimes it goes straight into the cleavage, and then I'm like fishing out food or liquid from my tits.
Yeah. Welcome back to the musical podcast. Maybe we should try that again.
Tits, tits, tits of the house, tits of the house. Who's the tits? We're the tits. Tits of the house.
Tits.
She's harmonizing. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to sing again. Let's talk about sex.
Baby, let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things
that I make my husband do if he wants them. Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex.
When a man loves a woman.
And a woman loves a man, something happens.
Unless that man has done something to piss her off.
Something happens. Well, what actually happens? A penis grows.
It blossoms.
Blossoms, and it finds its way into a flower.
Sure.
What's the birds and the bees talk you're gonna have with your kids?
Oh my god.
But seriously though, let's just get into sex for real. Is it okay? Is it okay to withhold sex from your husband?
Yes, sometimes you don't want to have sex. Is it okay to manipulate and hold it? This is a gray area, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
So I find that I don't consciously withhold sex, but I do find that there are times where I'm much more in the mood and much happier to spread my legs.
Yeah. When
he has been listening to me, when there's open communication about things, even if we're fighting, if I feel like we've gotten to a place where I feel heard and he feels heard, then I'm more receptive to the peen.
I feel like what you're saying, and this is for me too, when your husband acts like you matter and you're a person too and important, because men get so wrapped up in their jobs, themselves, their hobbies, their this, that you become a little bit invisible.
You get taken for granted.
Yes, that's it. And you feel like, hello, are you seeing what I'm doing for you over here? That's the truth. I feel like that happens. And it's not, and then we're not in the mood. And then we get called all these names online for making sex jokes about this type of stuff. And it's like, hey, just rub our shoulders sometimes. Do something nice. And then we want to fuck you.
Yeah. I need attention, not just when you want to have sex.
Right. Oh, you notice how guys just when they want to have sex, they come in and it's like the way they're acting, it's like a romantic song is playing and they're slowly walking towards you and it's like, ooh, you look hot. Yes, because your dick's hard. Tell me I look hot when I wake up in the morning.
When I don't. I want you to lie to me.
When I'm drinking a coffee and it's not the time for that. Yeah, give me the compliment when you don't want to fuck me.
I think they always want to. I think they're always down, and that's the difference. I wonder how many people are married where they're like, we're both night people, or we're both... I feel like it's always the nighttime person marries the morning person.
Yeah, because the morning person is looking for a little bit of wild fun in their life, and the nighttime person brings in the crazy. That's what I think.
Yeah. Kind of like an opposites attract situation.
Totally.
This is based on nothing, by the way. No science involved. This is just my opinion that this is how it works.
So, do you think it's okay to use sex as negotiations? Because I do this a lot. I'm always like, hey, ooh, I love this. If you get me this, I'll suck your dick tonight.
Really?
Oh, all
Does
the time.
that work?
Yes, it works. It works like
What are you
crazy.
getting? What are you getting?
I don't know. It's just anything. Like if
What are
was
you
the-
having him buy you?
What was the last negotiation?
Because you're so cheap. What are you having him buy you?
So cheap. My husband buys me the most expensive stuff, and I want to return it.
But you say no to him when he tries to buy you stuff. So I want to know, what are you asking him to buy you that you're withholding sex?
I've got to think about the last thing he bought me, and I was like, I cannot. What was it? It was just recently, and I was like, oh my God, you are so getting a blowjob tonight. This is amazing. I can't believe you did this. What was it? And it was something so nice, and I just can't think of it. And it was like literally 3 weeks ago. What is wrong with me? I'm brain dead. No, he buys me. You know, the thing is, I try to stop him from buying me stuff because he goes to a store and he'll get me an outfit. And he'll be like, oh my God, babe, the store girl helped me and with your size. I think this is your size. And I'm like, well, it's not my size. I have to go exchange it. And then I see that the outfit was like a $450 skirt, $300 shirt. I'm like, I could have gotten a wardrobe for this. Like, it makes me, but I try to accept it. He does that multiple times. And I'm trying to explain to him, I know you want to buy me things. Just tell me to go buy myself something. Because I really don't want $1,000 outfit.
Yeah, it's a fine line, the gift giving.
Yeah.
So I don't do that, but I believe in positive reinforcement, much like you would train a dog. So when he does something like clean the counters, I'll be like, I'm so wet right now. Or if he empties the dishwasher, I was like, we should do it tonight. So I believe in words of encouragement and just to let him know, I see what you're doing. And it makes me want to fuck you.
Oh, that's interesting. I always negotiate blowjobs. They're gifts for holidays or birthdays, and they are totally negotiated in my house.
Do you write a contract? Like, I will blow you, Steve, if you... And then you drew like a line, and then he gets to be like, buy you an outfit that doesn't cost $1,000.
No, they're negotiated by like, if I can do this, if I can like spend this much money, then I'm gonna give you this many blowjobs.
Does he ever get free blowjobs, or that's like a birthday gift?
Blowjobs were free before marriage.
I see.
No, he does. He get every time before I have sex. Because he deserves
it. It's a warm-up.
Yeah, it's a warm-up. And you know what? Hey, you know what? It's not... I do believe, and I'm so sorry to say this, and I believe that he deserves to be happy, and one day he's gonna die, and the only thing men care about is getting their dick sucked. It's such a sad reality. It's so sad. Do you ever think that? I go, I'm so like watching people die at our age, like around us, like that are losing battles to this or that. And I'm like, he's gonna die one day. And the sad truth is,
he's gonna be on his deathbed, like, I wish you sucked my dick more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about that, and I think about the things that I like and I want, and I'm like, I better do this a lot, because
Betsy's gonna be on her deathbed, like, I should have returned that outfit.
Yeah. But do you ever, I think this way, this is how I think, and this is why I give him those things, because I want him to die and go, I'm glad that my wife did the one thing that all men want a lot.
I think that's great to look at it. I think everyone needs to take account of their life and think like, what would I think about this from like a perspective of the deathbed or whatever, to look back. And sometimes we feel like things that are bothering us are so big, but in the grand scheme of things seem so small.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. I I think about like the golden rule to treat others how you would want to be treated. And like when I cook or clean or do whatever, like I would want someone to say to me, like, oh, I see you, I appreciate you, I love you, go shopping, or let me go down on you, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever nice thing they want to say. So I also try to make jokes about stuff. So of course I'm like, when you take the trash out, it gets me wet. And he chuckles and I'm serious. It makes me want to fuck you.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, well, I'm married to you. I'll do something else like this because I don't want to take the trash
I'll do it
out."
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll do it on my own time, which is,
Yeah.
he's got to beat me to it though. Because if he doesn't do it, I'll do it myself.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's just,
That applies to the trash and fucking.
yeah. Well, that's a negotiation. If he takes the trash out is when I really want to do it, kind of. Like, you really want your husband to do house chores to be able to sleep with you. So that, in a way, is a negotiation. Like, I'm more willing and nice about sex if he takes the trash out.
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
It is, we all, listen, it's all about give and take, right? And you have to find that balance. And some people give financially, some people give with their time, but I definitely think that you have to find what works for you. And I oftentimes have to remind myself that, like, I have to be the initiator of whatever it is that I want.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
So, like, sometimes I have to give so that I can receive. And, like, I have to be the one to say I'm open for business, even when maybe I don't, because then he'll want to do the chores.
Yep.
I used to have a joke about I'd rather suck 1,000 dicks than do laundry.
That's a joke that the whole world, every woman in the world can relate to.
It's like
I hate laundry.
it never ends.
My washer machine's broken. It's not.
Still?
Yes, and it's not even that. It's just so nice to have Rinse doing my laundry. By the way, Rinse, if you would like to sponsor this episode.
We are open to sponsorship. I also hate laundry. I would like to try Rinse.
Well, I will tell you, it is the most wonderful thing in the world to hand a bag full of dirty clothes to someone else and be like, do it.
Is this
And
how
then-
husbands feel? They're
Yeah.
like, here,
Yeah, husbands
they
feel
fling
like
their dirty laundry everywhere, and then it comes back folded in their closet. What a miracle.
it is a walking miracle. Now I feel like my husband feels when he just gets a handful of clean clothes to put away.
I think that's another good point. So, I've read some articles that are talking about marriage and how less people are getting married, and we'll get into that in the next episode. But part of a marriage is delegating. And I think sometimes we put so much pressure on our partner. I know I put so much pressure on myself to be a good partner. So anytime you can pay someone to take something off your plate, off of the household's plate, I mean, what a blessing. And I
Yeah.
know that's a privilege to have something like Rinse. But oh my God, I would rather not go out to dinner one night than not have help.
You know what? Let me just tell you something. It sounds so ridiculous, but this is true. Having something like Rinse, I am dead serious, keeps you in a happy, good mood. So not going to dinner and eating at home and waiting for that doorbell to ring with clean laundry, seriously, is way more fun than going to a restaurant. I am not joking, because now I'm skipping around the house with one less thing to do, and I just feel better as a person. And I do think it's like little things like that. Like, you're really good at saying to me, Betsy, stop trying to do everything. You overwhelm yourself. And I can't even show up for my own husband. When I try to do every single thing myself, I cannot show up for this person who is always showing up for me.
You have to be able to be in a good mental space.
Yeah. Yeah. You do. And it's the little things that help you out that are able to put you in a good mental space. Like it's these little things, like having someone do this for you or that for you. And then feeling like some things are off your plate, so maybe you do want to get fucked more. I don't know. There's more time for sex if you pay for rent.
Absolutely. And what an endorsement that is. Speaking of time, I feel like my husband has such a different perception about time. Like, I remember last year he was like, we have a 2-year-old, so we had like a 1-year-old. And he's like, I want to travel and I want to go skiing with my guy friends and I want to go to dinner and I want to do date night. And I was like, okay. And I moved mountains to make this stuff happen. And then he was like, I feel like the only time I get to go out is when it's work. I never get to do anything. And it's like, you have taken up tennis. We have a date night. We tried to have like a family night. I was like, we should do that. And it's like, there are only 7 days in the week and 2 of them are weekends. How are you like these now conflict with each other. You can't have a date night and a tennis night and an at-home night and a movie night. And like there aren't enough nights.
No, there aren't enough nights. That's the problem. You need, well, that's the thing.
And that's why you have to be clear-headed. To be like, wait a minute, how are we going to do this logistics-wise?
Well, let's just say like this. Logistics-wise is women mostly get stuck with the bulk of, oh, he wants to do this, so he's going to go do that, and I'm just going to have to stay home and take care of the kids. Like, let me tell you something. When my husband wants to go skiing with his friends, if I was like, well, we have 6 dogs right now in the house. Good. Feed them and walk them, Betsy. I'll see you later.
Yeah, and that's like, how it is. That's how it is for me too. So I think finding a way to either be like not resentful about that or to make it like, okay, well, if he's going to do that, what do I want to do that makes me happy? And it may not look like a ski trip. It may be something totally different.
Maybe locking yourself in a hotel room in Palm Springs and going out into the scorching sun in the summer and just like drowning in the water. Like that sounds like a fun time for me. Hearing complete silence because it's so hot in the desert. Nobody's there. Like,
but that's exactly right. And so we had to pull out our calendar and literally this took hours that we did over several days because we have these kids to try to figure out. You have to plan ahead.
Yeah.
Especially with kids because there's like spring break, summer break, 3-day weekends, all this stuff. And we finally got some weekends where I was like, okay, I'm going to go do something and you're going to be with the kids.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I will report back on how it goes.
Yeah, I want to see how it goes. I want to hear, is he with them by himself?
I don't know, because sometimes what he'll do is well, first of all, he's always out of the house. Like, he hates to be home with them.
Okay.
But what oftentimes happens, if I go to Palm Springs, his dad will come here. So he's not really alone. Like, Grandpa's here, there's another person. Or he'll do, like, I don't know, something with another group of friends who have kids. Like, he's never truly alone with them. And that's fine. I don't care how he does it. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But it's the extended periods of time. Because, like, a couple hours, you don't really get what it's like to be in my shoes.
Right. No, it's good to show them. Look, I do feel bad. I have friends that's husbands just walked out on them. Do not help. Like, they're like, please, can you do this one thing? And I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like my mom being stuck with us all the time. I mean, it's just, she never got to show anyone what it was like.
How old were you when your dad left?
I think I was like a 9, but my dad wasn't really present when we were kids anyway. He worked all night. He was in clubs all night, playing music, jamming to the band. I mean, it was like
Sleeping with other women.
bingo. Yeah. Pretending like he was just focused on his music career.
Very into music, and music was the stripper he was banging.
Her name was Lyric.
That was the other girl. There were several girls that he was banging.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. But it is interesting, and for me, I always take a bulk of the dog stuff on. Dogs are a little bit easier. Not so much though, because I rescue old ones. They diarrhea all over. Like I've had about 6
That
plus.
wet vac has come in handy. Bissell, we also love you.
Bissell, you have saved my life with your wet vac. I rescue old senior dogs. They shit all over the carpet. My house would smell like a farm, okay? It's just...
And it doesn't. Her house smells lovely. Thank you, Bissell.
It does. It smells really good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I use the wet vac solution. And so I've wet vacked my floors 3 times this weekend because I fostered a dog. So I literally wet vacked my floors 3 times, and that's just on the carpet and the bathroom tile. I cleaned up like 3 piles, massive piles of diarrhea. My dog got stressed out because I fostered a dog. But these are the things, like I would never, Steve would walk in and he would see that, and then he would come into the kitchen and be like, Bets, the dog diarrhea in the bathroom. I'd be like, clean it up. He's like, ugh.
Isn't he a huge animal rescuer also, though?
Huge. And now that he has the one dog with him all the time.
Which dog?
Dakota. If he goes up north with Dakota and she diarrheas, he has to clean it up. I got him for Christmas. He's so upset. You know what he asked me for? A nice bottle of Mezcal. Every time I go there, there's so much hair on the rug.
He has to get drunk to clean up the diarrhea. Is that... He's like, I can't do this without a shot.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ran down the street looking for someone he could hire to clean up the diarrhea.
Oh my God.
He's like, oh, I got some blankets for you to wash.
It's like calling Rinse. I know you do laundry. Do you guys clean up diarrhea? I don't know.
It's so, yeah, totally. It's like, but I got him a robot vacuum. I got him the vacuum that robots around to clean
Why
up
does
for
he
him.
need that? He has you.
That's what he said. He's like, why do I need this? I have you. You come vacuum all the time.
Betsy got herself a Roomba, is what I'm hearing. She saw a sale. She got a Roomba.
I said, let me get myself a Christmas gift so I don't choke someone. No.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to pretend like my marriage is perfect. I just walk around silently and go, please do not go off on him right now and chew him out. Try to be nice. Take a deep breath.
That is good advice. Like, try not to explode.
Yeah.
I like to wait until I'm in a calm state. And part of this I learned in my parenting class. Like, you don't want to go when someone is like super elevated or you're super heated. You want to talk about this stuff in a moment where you're both calm, cool, collected. And then you're like, hey. And inside you're like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hey, sweetheart. Something bothered me. I feel blank, blank, blank. And then my husband's always like, what's the solution? And then we try to find what we could do next time to make things better.
Oh, that's nice. Steve's never like, what's the solution? He's like, what? Well, I do this and I do that.
So he gets defensive.
He gets defensive, yeah. Yeah, he does. I get a little, I don't know that I get defensive. I blow things over easier because my ADHD, I'm moving so fast that I'm so chaotically busy with doing too much at one time.
Yeah.
That I move on to the next. And then he somehow finds a way to like be nice and, oh, kiss me or hug me later. And that means I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Or he buys you something.
Or I make him, I say, you owe me an apology. I just want to let you know. And then he's like, I'm sorry.
You know what? That's a big thing too. Like being
Yeah.
able to say I'm sorry goes a long way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
need I'm sorry and then like a behavior modification.
Well, you're asking for a lot. You're
Am
asking, oh, a behavior modification. Let's see what guys say about this episode. Guys, like, we're not going to change for you.
I just
I'm teasing.
what bothers me
No, I'm
is when they
teasing.
say they're going to do something and then they don't do it.
Yeah,
When I say I'm going to do something,
you do it.
I do it.
Yeah.
And that's how you have trust. So when you say you're going to take the trash out and then you fucking don't, it makes me not want to put your dick in my mouth.
Yes. And when my husband says I'm going to take the trash out, I know he means he's taken it out within the week. So I just don't expect anything more. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that reminds me of like when Dolly is misbehaving and I'm like, if you do that, no TV. And she goes, ever? Ever? No TV ever again?
Dolly. Oh, sweet girl. She loves her little TV shows.
She's obsessed.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. I can't even. I'd be like, Dolly, do whatever you want. Be a good girl.
She does
Be a
whatever she
bad
wants.
girl.
Believe me.
She's, yeah.
I'll be like, do you want to be sweet or do you want to be sassy?
How is it reliving your childhood
It
and
is,
seeing what your mom went through?
you know, it's a trip. It is really hard in many, many, many ways. Ways that I didn't even think of.
It's nice because she is the spitting image version of everything of you. So.
Yeah. And that is my hell.
Yep. And you have to live it every day. But she's so fun. You're lucky.
She is fun. And she is so lucky to have Nick as a dad.
Oh,
because
he's obsessed with her.
He's so into like taking her skiing and going swimming and all these things that are just so fun, and to get out of the house and do fun stuff and
Stuff that you might not do, Hillary.
well, I like doing all that. The getting in the water is it has to be really warm, so we keep the pool at like 99 degrees. It's like bath water temperature.
You're
Yeah.
kidding. Are you all the time?
All the
or
time.
just when you go there, you turn the heater on in the pool?
Well, when no one's there, then
Yeah.
it's not on. But when it's on to like 99.
Wow. I keep my pool really cold because the cold water is really good for you.
I would rather die than get into a cold pool.
You know, I got in a cold water today. I get in the cold water almost every day this week. Every day this week, but I do it on and off. And it's been really cold outside in LA, you guys.
It's like a cold
50
plunge, right?
It kind of. I think people who get in cold plunges, it's like 30 degrees. Or like in the 40. Mine's probably like 48 to 53. But it is incredible. I don't know how I'm going to ice it in the summer to get in the cold water. It totally changes your life. I keep trying to get Steve to do it, and he will not do it. He's like, I've been in cold water. It doesn't do that for me. So
I've never had a runner's high either. These like, I feel like these are myths, like runner's high or like exercise endorphins. Like I feel good that I exercised, but I don't feel high.
You know, I feel when I exercise, I feel happier and I feel like I get good endorphins. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't want to hike, but there's something about being out on a hike and looking around and like the relaxation you get from it. Like you're in the middle of nowhere.
That is different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like a high.
I don't get a high from anything.
I feel like the people who say that have never done drugs. I'm like, you're confusing mild feeling good with, have you tried heroin? Let me tell you, it's different.
See, I've never tried. I've smoked weed, but I've gotten drunk and nothing is like, I don't know.
You done ecstasy?
No, I've never done any drugs except for smoking weed. I'm too paranoid to try anything. But I've always been that paranoid. Like now I can barely ever have a drink because like this paranoia anxiety comes in and I'm like, argh.
I remember I used to smoke weed like every day in high school. And then one day It made me paranoid. Just out of, like, nothing changed. Just, it stopped making me feel good.
Yeah, your childhood trauma was sitting down here.
No, it was very much up here. It was very in the moment, in the present.
Because I think as you get older, that anxiety kicks in from you're like, oh my God, I was surviving up until this moment, and now I'm looking back on, whoa. I don't know. I feel like that happened to me. I was always in the moment of racing to get through, and then boom, it's like hits me all at once. Like,
how old were you when it hit you all at once?
Probably 2 years ago. I don't know. No, maybe like 3.
Where did my life go?
When I started doing comedy and I started talking about my life, and I'm like, oh my God, this was my life.
Do you ever say you like set up jokes and then you see like everyone's horrified? And you're like, oh, I'm laughing about it. And they're like, that's really fucked up. Yeah. Maybe not funny.
Yeah. I used to have this joke. I used to go, I love when comedians go, people, it's jokes. But I'm like, this is not a joke. This is my real life. Come on, Rosie. Rosie's joining the podcast.
The other thing about sex, and we'll go back to sex, is my husband does not like to have sex with the dog in the room.
Oh, really?
So I'm like, who cares? Whatever. But he has to put her into a kennel, and she started crying. So we're like doing it to the sounds of
a dog howling.
And let me tell you, it is not easy to come when you hear your baby crying.
Oh, I just keep her in the room.
That's what I said.
She'll just bite it.
So your dogs are all just watching you, right?
My dogs go to sleep. My dogs are old.
I just picture like
my dogs can't even see anymore.
They don't even know you're doing it.
Yeah, one of them has dementia so bad I don't even think he knows what's going on. He's just walking around the room. Oh my God. I know, no. I mean, they can barely see, but yeah, they know they go to sleep. They go to sleep. And you know, the thing is, your dog's crazy. She'll probably play with your husband's feet.
Oh yeah, she for sure would be like, what are we doing over here? What are we licking? What's going on?
She's a wild dog. But you know, I will say, it is, to me, I think it is like, I do think that there is something about not withholding sex from your partner. I want to get back to it because I think it's important, because I did...
Betsy has a PSA.
Yes. I watched this woman say that men communicate through sex. Like, that is like their emotional outlet or something. And I do believe that's true. Ever since I watched this woman on TikTok, okay? No, I really do think that.
There was a study done on TikTok that men like sex.
Well, they become nicer when you have sex with them, because that is how they emotionally connect with you.
That is the Pavlovian response that I was talking about, where it's like, I want to have sex with him when he does the little things that make me happy, like laundry or, you know, telling me I look nice or whatever. And it's that simple. It's like not that complicated.
Yeah. So if you're having a problem with your husband doing things around the house,
you have to initiate the sex.
You have to negotiate.
With your vagina.
Take the trash out and the legs will open.
That is beautiful. Mwah.